Right now, 15 days before the election, Vice President Harris in Wisconsin looking to win over Republican voters. Also, gas prices are going down, but many still say they're too high, while some are questioning if the election has anything to do with it. And feeding families in need, what you can do to help a local nonprofit spread Thanksgiving cheer. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. Vice President Kamala Harris continues her visits to the battleground states on the campaign trail. And today she is making a stop again here in Wisconsin, her 7th visit to the Badger State since beginning her campaign for president. Our political reporter Will Keneally in Waukesha ahead of her taking the stage tonight. Will?
Yeah, Eric, for those people who haven't been to Waukesha County, imagine driving up to this location and you see just Trump sign after Trump sign after Trump sign. What Dane County is to Democrats, Waukesha County is to Republicans, which is why we are seeing Kamala Harris rally here with Liz Cheney, expecting them to make a pitch to some of those conservative voters who may be on the fence still about former President Donald Trump this fall. Now, we heard Harris touch on this at a similar campaign stop earlier today in Pennsylvania. Take a listen.
It is not about the individual. It is not about what is in their personal interest. It is about what is for and in the spirit of the public good.
Now, that's Harris there trying to illustrate a difference between herself and former President Donald Trump. Now, this Harris visit to Waukesha comes a day after J.D. Vance, the VP Republican candidate, was here in Waukesha, underscoring the importance, again, of Wisconsin and Waukesha County to that turnout. Conservatives trying to turn out there. But the suburban Milwaukee areas are shifting a little bit blue, so we could see Democrats trying to make a play for some of those same voters. We're expecting Harris to speak here within the next hour and a half or so. We'll continue to provide you updates here from Waukesha County throughout the night. But for now, reporting in Brookfield, Wisconsin, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
All right, Will, thank you. And this week is an eventful one for Wisconsin ahead of the election because tomorrow, former President Barack Obama and Democratic vice presidential nominee Minnesota Governor Tim Walz will both be in Madison together the same day early voting starts in Wisconsin. They're set to hold a rally encouraging voters to not only vote early, but to do so for Vice President Kamala Harris. The time and location for this rally has yet to be made public. Former President Trump made a stop in North Carolina, touring the damage left behind by Hurricane Helene in Asheville. Trump claimed the federal government has not done much to help the people affected. Last week, FEMA halted work after receiving threats that workers could be targeted by a militia. Polling continues to show tight races between the vice president and former President Trump across several swing states, including Wisconsin. And with the election now, as we mentioned, just 15 days away, both tickets appear to be making a push with Christian voters, with both campaigns making recent appeals to that demographic. Our Jalen Banks joins us now with how that could sway the election. Jalen?
Eric, I spoke with experts as to why this is and how these votes can impact on who wins the Badger State. With less than 20 days from the election, both Democrat and Republican presidential campaigns are making a recent push towards a specific demographic, Christian voters. Sunday, both campaigns speaking to faith-based voters.
What country do we want to live in? A country of chaos, fear, and hate, or a country of freedom, compassion, and justice?
But we cannot have an American government that is persecuting Christians for living their faith. We should be rewarding people and encouraging people to live their faith. We believe.
And speaking to one election expert, faith-based outreach can be a strong way to reach voters where they are.
But another identity that's core to a lot of folks is their religious identity. And invoking different elements of that religious identity might lead them to vote for one candidate or another.
According to a study by Gallup, 2/3 of adult Americans identify as Christian, and 55% are currently practicing. And in a state like Wisconsin, which has been decided by less than a percentage point 4 out of the last 6 elections, reaching these voters could be the difference.
There are so many tiny things that might affect the votes of 15,000 people that in Wisconsin, any one of those things could be the thing that pushes a candidate over the finish line. And so it's smart of campaigns to try to branch out beyond their core message, to try to find little pockets of folks that they might be able to bring over to their side.
However, reaching Christian voters isn't new.
Faith-based campaigning has always been a part of elections and has been important here in Wisconsin. While Senator Vance did speak to mainly Catholic voters, potentially voting for his ticket, I think it's important to remember the variety of faiths that are being addressed here.
Now, according to a study by the Pew Research Center, white Catholic and evangelicals are more likely to vote for former President Trump, while Black Protestant and Hispanic Catholics are more likely to vote for Vice President Harris. Something to keep an eye on come Election Day.
Jalen, thank you. It's been a warm one. Temps in the 70s. That trend should continue at least tomorrow. Kelly's on the weather patio with our first warm forecast.
Yeah, feeling like summer again. Getting very close to 80 today. We got up to 79, at least the official report so far. And we've got plenty of sunshine once again and more dry weather. You can see just a few clouds on the horizon as temperatures right now sit down to 76. We were 79 last hour. Winds are out of the south, and that's what's pumping in some of that warm air coming in from the south. Might see a shower tomorrow here and there. We're not expecting a whole lot. It will be starting to turn a little bit cooler coming tomorrow afternoon as a cold front arrives later in the afternoon into tomorrow night. Looks like a better chance. This is some good news, a more widespread opportunity for some rain, and most of this will occur during the nighttime hours Thursday night. Right now, 76 in Madison, hanging on to 78 in Middleton, and also down in the south in Fitchburg. We're looking at mostly clear skies. Tonight, just some high, thin clouds. Temperatures backing off. Still pretty mild in the mid-60s here at 11 o'clock. We'll talk more about that rain chance tomorrow and that better chance coming in Thursday coming up.
All right, Kelly, thank you. Gas prices in Wisconsin have been steadily going down since back in the beginning of August. But despite this, many still continue to think they're too high. Our Kyle Pazorski asked people filling up today if this has any impact on the upcoming election.
With just about 2 weeks to go until Election Day, we're asking people here in Madison what they think about gas prices and if they'll have any impact on their vote. Tracking website GasBuddy.com currently lists Wisconsin's average price for regular unleaded gas at a touch below $3. But it wasn't always this way.
You know, they've been skyrocketing, going down, skyrocketing, doing their own thing for the last couple of years.
Gabrielle from Madison isn't wrong. In January of 2021, when President Donald Trump left office, the state average was about $2.15. Then in June of 2022, under President Biden, they went up to $4.91.
I run every day to Madison and spend a lot of money on gas.
And even while things have cooled in the 2 years since, the perception of gas prices being at the record highs seen in 2022 hasn't gone away. Is it more expensive now than it used to be, or about the same?
I think it's more expensive now than usually.
Everything is up right now. We need some saving because it's hard to live at this point.
As for who people we spoke with say they are going to vote for, all agree the cost of living will have an impact at the ballot box. Are people hurting right now, do you think?
People are super hurting. Even a 20-ounce pop is $4.
I'm not the real biggest fan of Camilla because, in my opinion, they're kind of the reason why a lot of stuff is skyrocketing.
Kamala Harris maybe take everything down, every price.
In Madison, Kyle Pazorski, News 3 Now.
Kyle, thank you. Now, additionally, AAA says the national average right now continues to be above 317, down from 355 seen at the same time last year. One person is dead after a car ends up in the Yahara River a little after 1 this morning. Officers and rescue workers were called to Pirate Island in the Yahara River in Monona after a car was seen floating upside down. Multiple tow trucks were used to pull the vehicle out of the water. Madison fire crews recovered one victim from the vehicle who was pronounced dead. Officers believe speed may have been a factor. The identity of the deceased has not been released. An investigation is ongoing. New research shows more infants died than expected in a year and a half after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. The new data from JAMA Pediatrics shows in the months that infant mortality was higher than expected, rates were about 7% higher than typical. It was an average of 247 more infant deaths in each of those months. About 80% of those additional infant deaths could be attributed to birth defects. It is National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week, and the Wisconsin Department of Health Services is encouraging everyone to take steps to prevent and detect childhood lead exposure. Earlier this year, DHS called for all children to be tested for exposure to lead at age 1 or 2, and for children between 3 and 5 who had not been previously tested. Parents and caregivers are encouraged to get the facts, get children tested, get homes tested, and information about protection from lead exposure can be found on the DHS website. October is National Physical Therapy Month in UW-Madison, spreading the word about the practice. Physical therapists help to treat neuromuscular disorders such as back pain, neck pain. They can also be used to support women during and after pregnancy. And here in Wisconsin, physical therapists are direct access. That means patients don't need a referral from a physician or chiropractor to see them.
There's many physical therapists that have private practices now, so it's not necessarily connected to a hospital. And I think also just the number of conditions that a physical therapist can help intervene with and manage from across a lifespan. So somebody who is a child or an infant to somebody who is an aging adult and maybe 100. They may all be seen for falls, but all for different reasons.
UW-Madison says physical therapy is a growing field, and graduates of their PT program have a 100% employment rate. A local nonprofit is providing all the fixings for families to have a Thanksgiving meal at home. Registrations are open and streaming in for the Goodman Center's 36th annual Thanksgiving basket drive. This year's goal is to distribute 4,000 baskets. With the need for baskets at an all-time high, the center is appealing to residents to help collect the food and money to make their goal.
So I think food is a basic human right, and people's holidays are their traditions, and so we want people to be able to have the dignity and honor to have those holidays in their home and cook whatever traditional meals it is for their family. So helping them get access to the food to do that is a pretty amazing thing.
You can help out by donating food or money or volunteering your time at the center. If you're interested in registering for a basket, you can do so online at the Goodman Center's website. That is goodmancenter.org. Or you can call the center between 12:30 and 6 p.m. on weekdays. Calling all Badger fans, if you're looking to meet and learn more about your favorite Badgers, then you'll want to head over to tonight's taping of the Wisconsin Huddle. Tonight, Badger star running back Tawee Walker joins the show, breaking down Wisconsin's big win against Northwestern and the big homecoming game against third-ranked Penn State. It all takes place at Buck and Honey's in Sun Prairie. That's tonight at 6:30. Best of all, admission is free. When we come back on News 3 Now at 5, Kelly will break down when we could dip back down into the 60s, plus investigating an assassination attempt on former President Trump, what elected officials had to say about the incident in a new report. And on Wall Street, it was a mixed day. Several dips in the stock market. The Dow closing out today with a 344-point drop. The Nasdaq rose more than 50. The S&P fell almost 11. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now, brought to you by Cardinal Heating and Air Conditioning.
The kindness, the efficiency, the respect was amazing.
From start to finish, they will take care of you.
I never hesitate with family, friends, neighbors to recommend Cardinal, and nobody has come back to me and said I was wrong.
When it comes to your critical medical decisions, you should have the final say. But extreme politician Joan Ballweg says you're wrong. She supports criminalizing abortion even after rape and incest. Or to save the life of the mother, Ballweg would jail doctors for giving life-saving care. And Ballweg even wrote the law that could deny women access to birth control. Joan Ballweg would put extreme politicians in charge of your body and put all Wisconsin women in danger.
With Sweeto Metal Roofing, you get quality metal roofs installed by the best in the business. A metal roof means no fading, no storm repairs, true sustainability, and lower energy bills.
Sweeto Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
It seems like everyone in Washington is either too far left or too far right. I'm Rebecca Cook, and like most folks in Wisconsin, I'm somewhere in the middle. I'll stand up to Democrats to fight for a secure border and stop wasteful spending. I'll stand up to extremists like Derek Van Orden, who wants to ban all abortions with no exceptions. Like you, I'm fed up and ready for change. I approve this message because it's time that we sent one of us to Congress.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys and girls sports in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I'd be honored to have your vote.
Like a bowl of cherries, life in Attic Angel is healthy and sweet. Our independent and assisted living lifestyles include newly renovated apartments, engaging social activities, and wellness support that is tailored to you. As time marches on, we promote the idea that life can always be a bowl of cherries. Attic Angel, the house that angels built.
Under Kamala, there's been a big hike in Medicare premiums. Social Security benefits don't go far with Kamala's inflation slamming seniors. Now Kamala wants struggling seniors to pay more Social Security taxes, while she gives Medicare and Social Security to illegals. That will doom Medicare. President Trump will make sure no one cuts Medicare or Social Security. Trump lowered Medicare premiums, and he'll end the tax on Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
The House task force investigating the first assassination attempt against former President Trump has released its interim report. It's based on 23 interviews with local law enforcement officials who attended the Butler, PA rally. The bipartisan task force concluded the shooting was preventable and should not have happened. Lawmakers will issue a final report on the findings by mid-December, including any recommendations. A Homeland Security independent panel previously called for a complete overhaul of Secret Service leadership. A recent leak of highly classified U.S. intelligence documents is causing security concerns. Those documents contain what appears to be U.S. intelligence on Israeli plans to strike Iran. It's unclear how they ended up on the site Telegram and began circulating publicly online on Friday. Analysts say the documents ending up online could make Israel hesitant to share future intelligence.
We don't want to see it repeated, and we don't know who has access to it, who might want to repeat it again. We have troops in the region. We need to have prior notice in terms of what the Israelis are planning so we can protect our troops in the response as well.
Documents appear to be intended only for certain U.S. officials in the U.S., Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and the U.K. Well, the 70-degree weather won't stick with us for long. Meteorologist Kelly Slifka has more on the dip into the 60s and when we could maybe see some rain. Kelly?
Yeah, that's the good news. Almost up to 80 today. We got up to a 79, just kind of a repeat of what we had yesterday, and we did have plenty of sunshine. Now, this will be the last really warm day. Tomorrow's kind of that transition, and then we're talking about some rain. The high today actually did get up to a 79. That is well above our average. It's 22 degrees above our average of 57, and not really that far away from the record of 84. It's hard to believe. It's this warm. The sun's setting in less than an hour. Expecting that low tonight down to 52. That's really not that far away from our average high this time of the year. Now, tomorrow, we can't rule out a few showers passing through. This is not the main event. I think that'll be coming in on Thursday as yet another system comes through, and that will bring us a better chance of widespread beneficial rains where we really need it here in southern Wisconsin because, well, really much of the upper Midwest has been pretty dry the last couple of months. We do have some rain across Nebraska. That's the system that we're going to be watching for tomorrow. However, it's running into some drier air that we have in place, so a lot of this is going to be very light and pretty spotty, but that's our next chance of rain. As you can see there, drought monitor, our drought conditions report that came out last week, severe levels of drought right along the Illinois border, and you can see moderate drought, the lighter brown shading across much of southern Wisconsin, so all of us in at least some kind of drought criteria. So a slim chance of a few showers tomorrow, better chance of more widespread rain. Thursday, during the daylight hours, going to be dry, but later in the evening through the overnight period, I think that'll be the best chance of seeing some beneficial rains, and the chances this weekend look pretty slim. Temperatures still in the 70s yet over the next hour or so, but they'll quickly drop through the 60s, but noticing they're holding fairly mild throughout the evening hours. Because of that southerly wind, we will drop in the lower 50s by tomorrow morning. So we'll look at mostly clear skies. We do have some high, thin clouds out here tonight. Temperatures only dropping through the 60s after midnight into the 50s. We'll wake up to low 50s. There might be some upper 40s along the Wisconsin River Valley. Here comes some of these green blobs on our future track indicating some showers. Noticing how light and how spotty they are. But as we get into the afternoon hours, can't rule out some of these passing through. A lot of that will be out later in the afternoon. Now, Thursday, this is a better opportunity of seeing widespread beneficial rains coming on out of Minnesota. Moving into western Wisconsin, 8, 9 o'clock. This will be good news for all of the state, really seeing some drought conditions, really the upper Midwest. A lot of this should exit early Friday morning, but may get a quarter of an inch of rain out of that system as it moves through fairly quickly. We're still relatively warm. We're going to get a shot of some cool air coming in for the later part of the week, but noticing the real cool air is kind of locked up to the north into Canada, while we'll remain under a mild weather pattern through the weekend into early next week. And we're talking about Halloween. Look at this, going into the first days of November. Above average temperatures across much of the eastern two-thirds of the United States. 79 in Low Rock, 81 in Basketball right now, 76 in Madison, 70 expected tomorrow with some widely scattered showers. Quite a bit cooler on Wednesday and Thursday, but pretty seasonal, actually a little bit above average going into the weekend. Looks pretty nice for both Saturday and Sunday.
Kelly, thank you. And we come back celebrating local musicians. The Madison nonprofit helping to inspire more children to pick up instruments.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Billionaire banker Eric Hovde has a plan for Social Security.
Do you favor either raising the retirement age or cutting benefits?
I favor both.
Raising the retirement age?
You have to start changing the retirement age.
Hovde wants to raise the retirement age as high as 72. And Hovde just proposed cutting Social Security by 28%, costing the average beneficiary more than $6,000 a year. Eric Hovde, what's wrong with this guy?
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Get an 11% rebate on your automotive needs at Menards. Get superior engine protection with Valvoline High Mileage Synthetic Blend Motor Oil. It provides advanced protection from wear, friction, heat, and deposits for high mileage vehicles. A 5-quart jug is $18.99 after rebate. Stay safe on the roads with Rain-X Vision Beam Wiper Blades. They're easy to install and are designed to provide a smooth, streak-free wipe every time. Now just $9.99 each after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Under Kamala, there's been a big hike in Medicare premiums. Social Security benefits don't go far with Kamala's inflation slamming seniors. Now Kamala wants struggling seniors to pay more Social Security taxes, while she gives Medicare and Social Security to illegals. That will doom Medicare. President Trump will make sure no one cuts Medicare or Social Security. Trump lowered Medicare premiums, and he'll end the tax on Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Brian Stiles says he's proud of his Extreme record. Extremists want to gut Social Security and Medicare, cut benefits for seniors, and raise the retirement age. Stiles proud to join them. And they push to ban abortion in Wisconsin, restrict birth control, and monitor pregnancies to prosecute women. Brian Stiles proud to be backed by them. Peter Barca is proud to put Wisconsin over party.
I'm Peter Barca, and I approve this message.
With high inflation, working families like mine are hurting, and Kamala Harris helped create this mess. Now, while Americans struggle, Kamala spent our tax dollars putting illegal immigrants up in hotel rooms, and she supported spending our tax dollars to give illegals sex changes. It's not just liberal, it's insane. Kamala Harris can never, ever be our president.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. Fields Volvo Cars Madison has the Volvo you want in stock and ready to drive home today. So stop by Fields Volvo Cars Madison and take a test drive.
Plus, you'll be part of Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and gourmet coffee service.
And right now is a great time to get an offer like this.
Get 3.99% APR financing for up to 72 months on 2024 and 2025 Volvo XC40, XC60, and XC90 models at Fields Volvo Cars Madison. Go to volvocarsmadison.com.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
For the first time since back in 2019, the Madison Area Music Awards took place in person. The charity helps to get instruments in children's hands, but this week was all about recognizing local musicians for all their hard work.
An organization, nonprofit, that raises funds for music education programs.
Our primary mission of the Madison Area Music Association is to buy instruments for kids.
And also a lot of support for just the local music community as a whole.
And what better way to support and raise money for this charity than to recognize our local talent, which we've been doing every year for 20 plus years now.
It's a celebration. I'm glad that you made it. I'm glad that you made it.
Like tonight, we have Marcus Porter, great rapper.
It's one of the best things you can give to your kids, and to support your school programs and support their music programs.
And we have 88 awards that we give. everything from the best vocalists to the best songs, best albums. Well, it's important. We all know that kids who study the arts, they do better in the math and the sciences. They do better in school overall.
Music education is essential. Because especially, you know, musicians like us that are passionate about what we do, it's obvious to us.
Musicians, they only see each other when they come to the annual Mamas because they're all gigging, they're all playing, and they don't get a chance to hang out.
Girls rock camp right here.
And nominations for next year's Madison Area Music Awards will open up next month. We'll be right back with a final check of your first warn forecast. Stay with us.
Sarah Kieski, she supports lifting revenue limits, allowing property tax rates to skyrocket unchecked. Kieski's backers want to ban natural gas to heat our homes, driving utility bills through the roof. That's Kieski's record, expensive and extreme.
Meet Sarah Kieski. You might see her walking around in her Woke Genius t-shirt. Radical, just like the groups that support her. Kieski supporters want to defund the police. Her allies want to give voting rights to illegals and make it easier for felons to vote. And Kieski is backed by a group that wants to let criminals out early. Want to know where Sarah Kieski stands? Just look at the company she keeps.
When my husband got throat cancer, it wasn't just a health crisis. It was a financial one for my family. And that's something rural families know all too well. Joan Ballwig voted against expanding affordable health care for rural families and against bringing drug costs down. And that's one reason I decided to run against her. I'm Sarah Kieski, and I'm running for state senate. Because when someone you love needs medical care, the last thing you should have to worry about is how to pay for it.
Under Kamala, there's been a big hike in Medicare premiums. Social Security benefits don't go far with Kamala's inflation slamming seniors. Now Kamala wants struggling seniors to pay more Social Security taxes, while she gives Medicare and Social Security to illegals. That will doom Medicare. President Trump will make sure no one cuts Medicare or Social Security. Trump lowered Medicare premiums, and he'll end the tax on Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys and girls sports in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I'd be honored to have your vote.
Building that middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency. Compare that to Trump. He fights for himself and his billionaire friends. He intends to enact a national sales tax, the Trump tax, that would raise prices on middle class families by $4,000 a year. Instead of a tax hike, we will pass a middle class tax cut that will benefit more than 100 million Americans.
Evan Pack is responsible for the content of this ad. Sarah Kieski, she supports lifting revenue limits, allowing property tax rates to skyrocket unchecked. Kieski's backers want to ban natural gas to heat our homes, driving utility bills through the roof. That's Kieski's record, expensive and extreme.
Coming up tonight on the CBS Evening News, just 15 days to Election Day. Republican Liz Cheney hit key battleground states with Vice President Kamala Harris, telling women who oppose abortion it's okay to vote for the Democrat. Plus, Donald Trump ramps up lewd remarks and why McDonald's and Arnold Palmer have become a part of Trump's final pitch to voters. That and more headlines tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Kelly's back. Final check of the forecast.
Yeah, feeling like summer today. We got up to a 79 now. We're down to 76. Still hanging on to 81 in Janesville and Boscobel. 79 in Lone Rock across Dane County. Everybody well into the 70s yet here. The sun will be setting in just under or just over a half of an hour. 76 in Middleton and also 75 in Oregon. All right, our first warm forecast does bring in some changes, some widely scattered lighter showers tomorrow. It does cool down Wednesday. A stronger system will arrive, it looks like mainly Thursday night. I think this will give us widespread beneficial rains, maybe a quarter of an inch. It does turn a little bit cooler later in the weekend but still pretty nice Saturday and Sunday. Highs in the upper 50s.
All right, Kelly, thanks. We're back in a half hour with News 3 Now at 6. Stay tuned now for the CBS Evening News.